Okay, I think we'll start. This is the September 11th, 2025 Cemetery Trustee meeting. It is now 5:02, and present are the superintendent, Skip, Jillian, and Jim. I did get an email from Elaine saying that she was not going to be able to attend this evening, but I didn't hear from Caleb, but I'll check up on him later. First thing on the agenda is signing the light bill. I think Joyce just went to run. While she's doing that, I would ask that in your packet is the cemetery trustee meeting minutes from August 7th. You just take a look at those. There's a lot in there. And just Skip, just so you know, we'll have a motion and a second. Jillian found at the bottom of page 1, it says general fund transfer. I left the D off, so we'll definitely fix that. But if you see something else, do we have a light bill, Joyce? Oh, perfect. And I will make a note of the amount and compare it to what we had last. Because remember we had talked about when we get to the budget, we were going to look at the light bill and see if the rates had changed from last time.
I can go grab the file of them so we can look at what the old bills were.
Maybe just the last month or two, yeah. Thank you.
Looking at this current bill, it looks like this bill and the last payment may have crossed paths in the mail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, got it.
And I forgot to sign it. I was looking at that.
Yeah, because if you look, our usage is pretty flat.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it goes up a little bit in the winter months, and then it's just pretty flat the rest of the year. But all right, when we get to the budget, I'll pull these out, because I think what we wanted to do was look at the supply and the delivery rates and just see if there's something significant that has gone up. We'll change our budgets to reflect that. So Joyce, we have them signed, but I'll just keep it right here until the end, and you can have it. Oh, is there a deed going around? Okay.
Can I borrow your pen?
Of course.
And you say that the deed people will charge extra if they want to have a page 2 where they list anybody else who could be buried?
So they can list on this page who they want. What we've done typically in the past is that if they have any amendments to the deed, that they are to write a letter, basically to the cemetery department, authorizing anybody else who would be added to that, and then have it notarized. I can notarize it. A lot of times they'll just do it in front of me. That way we don't have to register it. And I let them know, this is the original deed. If you make an amendment, it won't be registered with the Registry of Deeds, but we keep copies. They get the original, the people who purchased the right to inter, but we also have copies here at the town office.
Okay.
So if they make amendments, that amendment is in their file, and each person has an individual file.
You know when they're going to move the registry paperwork?
I have no idea.
No. It's alive.
Can I get my pen back?
Oh,
I'll give you one though.
Yeah, Joyce, watch out. Do you need a pen? Do you want me to get your pen?
No.
I don't have an extra tonight.
this is yours?
No, that could be yours.
That could be yours.
That's yours.
Must be mine. All right.
Thank you. Jillian, you got all the paperwork that went with it, and the payment, and the check and everything? Thank you.
Welcome.
Maybe we'll just take these out of order, just to since we started already doing the review of the meeting minutes, kind of get that out of the way, and then we'll come back to the budget.
Is this resident going to come?
I did not hear from him, and currently I have a lot on my plate, so
Oh,
I forgot to reach
Okay,
out.
that's all right.
Want to tag team that?
It looked to be in order to me.
Okay, then I believe what Jillian had was a motion to accept the minutes as as written, except for changing general fund transfer to general fund transfer.
Correct.
That's the motion. Skip, you second that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, none opposed, so we accepted the minutes with that one change. Just making note of that. I guess we'll go back to the 2026 budget prep. If you look in your packet, you'll see the sheet that says Brentwood Cemetery fiscal budget. And you also have Joyce printed out the year-to-date expenditures this year, if you want to look at that. I'll just review the budget. Basically, ours is pretty simple. You see on the right side at the top, you have the 2024 hourly rate. That's the current rate, the superintendent. We were told to assume a 3% COLA increase, and that's what's in there. So there's a 2024 rate and a 2025 hourly rate that has been increased by that 3%. Now you go to the left side. So if you look at the employee salary, and we do this every year, but the raises go into effect April 1st. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Joyce.
I have a question on the wage increases.
Yep.
Should that be 25 and 26?
Yeah, thank you. Wow.
It's okay.
I even said it, didn't I?
The years.
Oh. Huh. Okay.
Thanks, Joyce.
It's,
And I have it correct on the left side, it's just wrong on the right side.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll fix that before, because like I said, I haven't submitted this, but once we approve this tonight, I'll submit it to Julie.
You and I have been looking at a lot of budgets.
Yeah, I know. And other things, I know. So if you look, the way it works is the salary increases, do not go into effect until April 1st. So we always have this 13 weeks at the 2025 rate, and then 39 weeks at the new 2026 rate. And it tells you how many hours per week. There's 6 hours per week. And there it calculates, again, I'll update this, that's the 25 and 2026 wages, total wages. There's a stipend line that we leave at $1 now. Again, we did this last year. That's, in case in the future we ever go back to having a separate admin or clerk. So we have total salary. Benefits are just calculated based on the total salary, so those are just, and this year, obviously, there's no retirement because Joyce is just doing the 6 hours for the superintendent role, where in the past, she was a full town employee who were getting benefits, so we funded part of that. But so the employee benefits is straightforward, salary straightforward. The only thing really we had to look at was the electricity, and I slightly increased that from $300 to $350. And I'm just looking at the supply rate for this month's bill, because we had heard that the rates had gone up. So if you look, the supply is 89 cents, where last month the supply was 98 cents. The month before it was 80 cents. It's so low, I don't think there's really much difference there. But if you look at the delivery charge, this month's is $20.27. Last month's was $19.46. So it's like, not even $1 more. But, and if you go back several months, it was always around $19, $18.58, $19. So with this change is really small.
So far. I don't know.
I mean, to me, $50 is not a lot of money when you're talking on a $7 million budget. I think we probably are safer to say that the electric rates may go up, and we just leave it with a slight increase of $50. Because if you look all the way down at the bottom, our overall, we're actually going down in budget, so nobody is going to question this. And I think we're probably better to, again, error with being $50 extra is not a lot of money to make sure that we have enough to cover the electric bill. And then on land maintenance, remember, we always had $2,000 in that line, and last year it got reduced by the select board to $1,000, and we're going to probably run short this year on that line. It cut it too close. We thought this may happen. The select board had said, look, if you run out, don't worry, we'll work it out. But again, I think we're better off going in. And we discussed this, if 1,500, Joyce, if you think that's enough, we'll do that. If you want to go back to the total 2,000 because you think we might need that next year, I would be willing to put that in there too. I think I could justify either one of these numbers easily.
If you put the 2,000 in, what would our change be? Do you think we'd still be negative? Like our net change percentage-wise or net change dollar-wise?
No, if we put in another $500, we'd probably be, I don't have my calculator, unfortunately.
close
I
to
never
even?
laptop. Well, you can see that the bottom where it says the changes, we went down $200, 202.16, right? Which is negative 1.47%. So now if you shift that by 500, that means we're going to be 300. We would be for the year up $300. So that would be a change of, again, probably somewhere just under 2%. 2%, which I think is pretty reasonable. But I'm just saying, so I would feel comfortable again on that. If you feel like we may need that money next year, I could say that, look, we cut it tight this year and we overexpended the $1,000, I think I would be comfortable with whatever you and the other trustees want to do on that line. Like I said, if we leave it at the 1,500, we're coming in at a reduction of like 1.5%. And if we change that to $2,000, we'd probably be coming in at around a 2% increase.
So the whole average for the town, how is that going to affect with the tax cap, or are we
It
so
won't, well, it
small?
is so small, it wouldn't have any impact.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't want to sound like facetious or like flippant about it, but when we're talking about, again, a change that would shift this budget by going from a $200 reduction to a $300 increase, $300 increase on a almost $7 million budget. Again, it's not, it's in noise. So it's really not, I'm just more asking you, what do you think? And, or either one of you, like if you think we're better off having 2,000 because it'll allow us to do some other things that we want to do. We also have, don't forget, we have the new cemetery, the Pauper Cemetery, right? The Poor Farm Cemetery that we might want to do some stuff with.
I did that quick calculation and it's 2.17%.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were.
To me, if we can put the 2,000 in,
Okay.
and then if we go up against select board and BudCom and they
That's okay.
go, well, you know, we can go, hey, we can comfortably go to 1,500. And that would put us back at the negative. I think if we go in
I have, yeah.
ahead of it, and then if they say, you know, we look like the champions because we decided to say, oh, you know what, fine.
No, I think given that we have a new cemetery that we're going to have to be maintaining, and it's brand new, and we've done basically almost nothing there, we might.
And
be
I
able
really
to.
curbed the spending this year. I mean, I just didn't.
Absolutely. Well,
haven't
we
done
didn't have the
anything.
budget, and we didn't. Right.
Right. I mean,
Right.
I can spend the $71.38 that's there for sure.
Right.
Because we might need corner markers and stuff. Not knowing what my fall is going to look
Right.
like.
Right.
I mean, if I have a lot of burials and a lot sales, I'm gonna be
And we had
fine.
talked about even putting like a small like a fence, a delineation at the new cemetery, you know. And again, it wouldn't be a lot of money, but it would be posts and chain or something that we could maybe put like we did at the gate or something else. So
And that can maybe come out of the capital reserve
it
fund.
could.
But I think having that cushion of,
Yeah.
you know,
All right. Let's do that. I'll make this 2,000, and we'll leave the electricity at 350. I'll make the corrections to make sure it always says 2025 and 2026. And I'll update it, and then I'll send everybody a copy, and I'll send it to Julie. I guess all we would need is a motion to accept the budget as presented, updated with $2,000 on the land maintenance line instead of the $1,500.
Second.
Motion Julian, second Skip to accept the budget. All in favor? Aye. No opposed? Good. Okay, so budget is done. Awesome. And I'll give you back these.
awesome. Thank you.
I'm just making a note, 2,000 on maintenance. Basically, and again, I think that's going back to, I believe it was at 2,000 when I started on Cemetery
Forever.
Trustees. It's always been that way, yeah. Good. I'll
Forever.
make sure I make a note of that as well on the budget line.
And just because it's the way we've always done it doesn't
No,
mean
but-
anything, but I think if we have a new cemetery.
Correct,
That you eventually were gonna have to say, okay, we
Correct.
need to buy
Right.
stuff for that one. and
Right.
that-
Prices aren't going down, so.
no. Okay. We approved the minutes, budget. Next is under cemetery activity, Bunzinski funeral.
You have a funeral Saturday at 1.
Saw it posted
This
on Facebook.
Saturday, yep.
Yes. I need to contact the PD. just so you know, I usually do post those funerals on Facebook. I haven't put it on the town website, but I will. And I also try to contact the PD, especially if it's a big funeral that I might have a lot of people. I don't need a detail, but just in case there's a lot of people, they're
just to be
aware of it.
Cool.
And they
I like it.
appreciate that.
Good job, Joyce.
Thank you.
Okay. Fall projects.
What's his name?
Oh.
Just died. Kevin Fuller going to be buried in Brentwood, you know?
So that I have not heard anything from the family. Per his request, there's no services. That would be Kevin Fuller. So as far as I know, I've heard nothing from the family.
I noticed that he requested no,
Yeah.
the family requested no service. But we don't know if he's going to be buried here.
I have no idea. No. I'm respecting their privacy. It's just the fall projects. I have been painting the gates at VZ Cemetery because they get a lot of abuse from the sand and the salt. I have one almost all the way done, and I'm going to work on the other one hopefully in the next couple days to get them painted because I have the paint already.
Thank you.
And I haven't done much with stone cleaning. I haven't looked at the well, at least the dug well, but I just want to be conscious of the water situation. I know our well is 400 feet deep, but I don't want to spend too much time running out our water unless I have to.
Yep. Just want to make sure that the painting of the gates, those are the ones at VZ?
Yes.
Got it.
And if I get a chance, I'll do the ones at Tonnery too. Just do like a spot spray, keep the rust at bay.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I think Laura showed me. I think did you post something on Facebook, the pictures or something, or?
For the gates at
Yeah,
VZ.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yep. And the paint I'm using, it's a rust converter. So I pretty much like take a file or a brush, get the loose stuff off, and when I spray it, it kind of stops the rust from progressing. Will it prevent rust? Probably not, but will it stop it from progressing? Hopefully.
It helps.
Yeah.
I've used it. It definitely helps.
Yep.
Awesome. That in on the projects?
That's all I've got for right
Cool.
now.
Okay. Poor Farm. It says good to go for marker.
Yep, are
Yes, we have that in our packet, right? And
So this has been delivered to them, this final wording been delivered to them?
this is what they sent us as the final proof. And I think all they were waiting is to hear from us saying go. And I know we voted last time for the the money, so that's all set. I think all we need is tonight to let Joyce know. All she has to do is say yes, and boom, it's ready. I just want to make sure that everybody's happy with what is on this sheet of paper, because that is the final proof. That is what this plaque is going to say. So as long as everybody's comfortable with that.
Here lie the remains. Instead of,
Tell them.
Yeah, what, go ahead, say it into the mic so we can get it corrected.
if the final order hasn't been placed,
No, he's waiting for us to give him that's what we need to make sure. If there's something you want changed, let's get it, we'll just tell him and he can do that. It hasn't been done yet. That's why we're talking about it right now. So what do you want to change, Skip?
Here lie the remains, known only to God.
Take the S off.
No, but
Here
then,
lies.
because remains is plural, so it should be here lie the remains no
the
longer.
remains lie, correct. So just take off the S, Skip?
Yes.
Make sure you read the rest of it, Skip. You're our man with grammar and,
Yes, I'm waiting for Skip to give the okay.
yeah.
Yep, I'm actually gonna jump onto that email right now and
Are you satisfied, Skip?
Pardon me?
Are you satisfied?
Yes.
I mean, and again, are you okay with the 3 dots after where it says, here lie the remains known only to God, and it has ... I believe that's how we gave it to them, and you're good with that, right? Because I am. I just want to make sure you are.
That's fine.
Okay.
Then I will make the motion that we accept this as the final version,
Yep.
minus the S on lies.
Second, Skip. Okay, all in favor? Aye. So Joyce, you can email him right now? Awesome.
Yep, or at least when we get done. Yep,
Yeah, thank you.
yep, we'll do that.
Because I think we would be giving him enough time now to get it done before the cold weather gets here.
Yep. And I've reached out to the Sanborns to let them know that this is happening, and they were like, absolutely, whatever you need. If they could just have a couple hours or 24 hours heads
Awesome.
up to move anything that's in the way.
Awesome. That'll be really exciting when that gets, it'll be exciting when that gets done.
Yep.
Relief.
Maybe another story, Joyce, that we can submit
Yeah.
with a picture. That would be really nice, I think.
Yep.
And we're still waiting for the final report on the tooth.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them. It's been pretty quiet. They've got a lot of other stuff going on because they've been working on the Allenstown barrels. They found the other person. They found an ID. So the Allentown barrels that were found in Bear Brook State Park back in the 80s, they have ID'd the young girl. So they've been working really hard on
I actually
that.
saw that on the news
Yeah.
the other night. And
Yeah.
I'm not a big news person, but I would think I was getting the weather report and I saw that pop up and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
That's DNA Doe
With
Project.
With technology now,
Fantastic.
right?
Yep.
And that was the last unknown.
Yeah.
Right.
That's,
Yep. Which is pretty exciting.
mhm.
So they don't give up. They hold things, and when the technology catches up.
And I guess I will give everyone an update, because Joyce and I were about that, trying to figure out how do we get the delineation done and whether we have somebody go out, how do we get it updated on the GIS? And, I was ready to have a meeting with the town administrator, and then the town administrator, resigned. So there's no town administrator right now, and there's a lot of other activities going on. So I kind of have let that take kind of a back seat for everybody, including Joyce, myself, and the people that we have to deal with, because, there's just a lot going on right now in the town offices, and I think this could wait a little bit, but I think once some of this settles, then Joyce and I can pick that back up and really figure out legally, how do we do this? I mean, I think we both kind of know what we want to do. It's just we have to find somebody to help us legally get that done. And anyway, so I just wanted to update everybody that it isn't that Joyce and I have forgotten about it. It's just we don't have a town administrator right now, so we're kind of just like in a holding pattern because until we kind of have that squared away.
So I'm meeting with New Hampshire Graveyard on October 11th. We're going to Goshen. Goshen has asked the New Hampshire Graveyard to come and help them do mapping, inventorying, and surveying. I actually have a New Hampshire Graveyard member who that's what he does for business, and he's doing a free presentation on how to do desktop mapping. So we've invited some people to say, hey, if you have any expertise or if you know anything about this, please come. I haven't gotten any really responses from that, but I am going to pick at the people who are there and say, hey, has anybody done this? I know we have to go to legal counsel, but is there anything that we're missing? Is there anything we need to know? So it's going to be a very basic workshop. I think if it takes off, I'm going to work with this gentleman to get more training, because we have someone in New Hampshire Graveyard who does all the cleaning, he does the straightening programs, he goes out and teaches people how to do that. I think what I'm going to try to do is be the person who comes out and does the mapping and the surveying. So this that we're doing will add to that. So if other towns go, our little cemetery is not on our map, how do we do this? What we've learned,
right.
we can take to the state.
Yeah, because you got to believe this happens, right? I mean, probably doesn't happen in the circumstances exactly like this, but finding a cemetery that was on some property or was in the middle of the woods and someone comes across it, how do you get it done? And
Put it on the map.
right.
Yeah.
And if we kind of, like you said, if you figure out the process, then you can do ours and help out other people as well. So,
Yep.
great.
As far as the fall cleaning and planting at the Poor Farm, It's just still too dry. I mean, if we can get soil out there, maybe at some point when the ground is starting to freeze up, that might be good. And then we'll wait till spring to maybe do a cover crop, or maybe we'll even wait until later in the fall. Keep an eye on it.
Okay. Either way, I mean, if we're not going to do planting, we could always, when it gets a little cooler, do the final cleanup. We did that last year. Didn't we go out there and like just with the blower
blow
and
it
just like
off.
made sure we cleared everything off for the winter? So at least in the spring, we wouldn't have a pile of crappy leaves all sitting on it. So,
Yeah.
and again, we want to wait till the leaves come down for that too.
Okay.
It would be done after the loam is spread, or we just spread the loam on top of what's there and then re-
And maybe we can tandem in if we know that there's a time period. If we see some rain or whatever coming, we blow the leaves and see if Wayne will bring us a
Wayne
load
can
of
do it.
dirt
yeah.
and we can just spread it out.
Because he's usually going to be good about like, we won't have to give him a lot of notice, but
He does have Deerfield Fair coming up.
But you have a backpack blower. I have
oh yeah,
one.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we have one now.
So cool. I wonder if it's worth, where I'm a town employee, could I ask the town, can I drive the 1-ton? Can we load it? Like if they loaded it and had it ready to go, could I drive it and take it out there? If not, maybe we can find someone with a truck and trailer that we can.
You have a license?
You don't need one.
I don't know if I need to have a commercial license.
Yeah, you don't need it for that
For the
truck.
1-ton.
You don't need it for that truck.
No, it's when you put a
We-
trailer and equipment on the trailer with the
Right.
truck that you need a license.
Right.
But that might be a conversation to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highway's pretty good too.
I bet if we ask Micah and Jeff.
All three of them are fantastic.
Agree.
Yep.
Okay. Next is future planning and calendar, wreaths across America.
The theme this year is keep moving forward. I have done a Facebook post, and I think since I did the post, I maybe had 1 or 2 additional wreaths sponsored. So I'm gonna just keep updating that probably twice a month as we get closer to the date. I didn't want to wait till November because people will get twitchy with taxes and stuff. For the one that I really look at, we have 173 still to go, but I'm not too worried yet. I will work on that a little bit more, and if I have to, I'll just see if I can get businesses to donate. Usually closer to the date, people start thinking about it. It's too warm.
And what's the 3 ponds thing, Joyce?
So 3 Ponds had asked as we get closer to the date if I would come over and do a presentation for them, because they have people that are there that are veterans that would be more than happy to donate. But they'd like to hear some of the backstory. I do have magnets that have the date on it, and I'm saving it for that. It was, Reese sent it out to us as location coordinators. They give them to us for free. Like if you do a presentation, maybe have them there to hand out. I do have like a whole bunch of swag
Oh,
that
nice.
I can hand out.
Nice. And they have that common area, the meeting house thing. It's really nice in there.
Yeah.
I've actually talked to them in
Yep.
that room. It's really a good place to do it. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. And they asked for this, right?
They asked if I would be willing to do that, come over. So I have a contact with them that I can do
Oh,
that.
great.
Do you guys have anything coming up at the Historical Society that maybe we can have like a table or have a presentation? Do you have any events coming up with the Historical Society in October, November?
We have a harvest supper, I think we're having in the Grange room
Okay.
upstairs.
There's a craft fair at the rec center in November.
Okay.
Might be worth putting some info out.
When is your harvest supper?
I don't know to tell you
Okay.
off the top of my head.
Okay.
Joyce, give me
Okay.
2 seconds. I will see if the boss put it on my calendar, because if it is,
Dexter.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's going to check too.
I think it's on the Historical Society website. It might even be on the town website.
Okay. I'll look there. Yep. Didn't
I
we-
have something called Harvest Lunch,
Yeah.
Wednesday, October 15th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That sound right, Skip?
Okay.
Yeah, that might be a good place to have it.
Yeah, I'll ask Dexter if I can even just have a table.
It's harvest lunch. I'm just putting this in the minutes. And it's October 15th, 11 to 1 at the Grange.
Didn't we have an event last year that all the departments and like businesses in town had that gathering at the
Brentwood
rec?
gatherings.
Hmm.
Is that, didn't Michelle Sudowit do that, the Brentwood gatherings last year?
Yeah, it wasn't even a year ago. That was yeah, that was on April 3rd,
Okay.
the Brentwood gathering. But I haven't heard that they're doing another one in the fall.
Okay.
That I don't know. I'm not the right one. I know
No, that's
Michelle
okay.
did it with Laura, but I haven't heard anything. Yeah, because you absolutely, you had a table there. We had
Yeah.
a table. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were right next to the newsletters. Yeah,
I'm just thinking if we did more public outreach.
absolutely. What I'll do is I'll ask Laura if they're planning one, and if there is, I'll let you know.
Okay. And even if not, I'll look and see if other organizations are
Yep.
doing something.
Okay.
If I hear of anything, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Now, I guess under any other business, I failed to bring. I updated the documents based on what we had discussed last time. They're both done. I may have even posted them up on the share. Unfortunately, I did not print out and bring copies, so we'll have to move this to next meeting.
Motion to table.
Thank you. I'm embarrassed, but like I said,
Shame on you.
I know, I'm sorry. I let the team down. So but clearly we already went through and I updated like I said, there was a bullet about mowing. It's all been updated. I have version numbers and dates on it. I have the proper format. I just forgot to bring it so that we could vote to approve. But what I'll do is I'll email all of you the drafts if I haven't already done that. I'll just email it again so that we all have it so that at next meeting we can kind of just come in. And again, it was just going to be a vote to approve so that now we have official version numbers and we can post those documents officially. And I blew it by not bringing it tonight.
Just a question, did we, when we discussed policy as opposed to rules and regulations back then, did we add that to the paperwork?
No, I don't think we updated the rules and regulations to talk about, you're saying a separate policy statement? Because we do have some policy statements.
Did we mention
for
that
specific-
anywhere in the rules and regulations that from time to time, policy?
Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't, this will be on the this will be on next month's meeting and we can just go through. We'll have these copies and we can finish them.
Yeah.
And if there's something in there that you want added, we can just do that. And we could vote it that night and get them finalized.
Okay.
But I know what you're saying, right? Like just mentioning that we do have policy statements for,
Yeah.
if in doubt, if something's not listed here, to contact the superintendent, because there may be policy statements that cover whatever the topic is. And I think if we leave it generic like that, we're better off than trying to get too specific and too detailed on some of these things, because it may not, we just spend a lot of time for not a lot of reward. And
So that all said, it just clicked into my head. There's been something going through the legislation to do with the green burials, et cetera, et cetera. It had something to do with scattering. I don't remember all the legislation around it. It was something we're actually going to talk about at the New Hampshire Cemetery Association meeting in October, around how to register scattering of ashes. I don't know, I can't remember whether they said, yes, we should be registering those, or whether we should not be registering that, whether we're not required to do that. I think it's a talking point. I would love to get your feeling that if somebody is scattering ashes, whether it's in the cemetery or at home, what is your feeling about having that burial or that scattering actually registered with the town? So here's my take on it. We've had Mr. Fuller, who passed away, request no services. Totally respect that. But what I have done is they have a file. I have printed out his obituary and put it in there. So that if anybody future comes and says, do we have anything? He's not in one of our cemeteries. We can say, oh, he's not. We don't have any information because that was his request, but an obituary is public. We do have his obituary and we can offer you that. So someone who is being scattered, we have to kind of contemplate, and don't have to answer it today, but just what our thoughts are as far as, do we want ash scattering to be registered, or do we respect the family and say that's fine, but we would like a copy of an obituary just for files? Because what happens today is that people just want to be scattered, and that's fine, but what do you do for your ancestors further down? Maybe your grandkids. I've had people come and go, I just want to touch a stone. I have someone coming next week who wants to see where her father's buried. He has no stone. I have found him. It took me a little while, but I know where he is. And they just want to come and be like, all right, that's my dad. That's in a casket right here. He's marked with a B for burial because I found him. They may want to get a stone for him.
Right.
He may have at his time said, no, I want nothing, just inter me. But further down the line, the family might be like, hey, and if we're doing a scattering situation, which we've talked about, maybe we're just saying, yep, if you want to scatter, this is our scattering area. It might be nice to have a big memorial that kids later on go, hey, we see that he was scattered. Can we put his name on the memorial?
Right.
That's an excellent.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that. And for sure, in the future cemetery, that would be something that we would have. I remember we talked about that there'd be a scattering area or a garden, and maybe we have a stone or something there where, yeah, you can add the person's name who was scattered. And then there would be a record. Because I think if you're asking if somebody is scattering in an official area that we have listed as a scattering area, I think we should document that.
Okay.
For historical purposes, as well as for, that, just like treat it like a sort of like a burial. I mean, like, I guess when you're talking about obituaries, though, like if a person dies in Brentwood but has nothing to do with the like doesn't have anything purchased in the cemetery, hasn't come to us talking about scattering, do you still collect obituaries for everyone who's in town? I was just a little confused about that part of it. Because
I haven't, and I actually do have a couple people. So part of his family do have stones. His dad is here. They have they have their lot.
Okay.
He himself doesn't. I have a few folks that I know have passed. They have a family lot, and they are buried elsewhere. They were kind enough to send me information and paperwork from their services. So I have that. It's just better record keeping.
Sure.
It's one of the things that's going with the mapping is that, like, find a grave. Everybody's like, oh, it's great. I'm like, it is to a point, but it's crowdsourced. You have to check your source.
Right.
Having an obituary is usually pretty definitive. It's usually coming from a funeral home who has generated it. Have I done it for everyone? No.
Right.
If they're being buried somewhere else, no. If there's no service, sometimes I will, just because I want to have it. It's just a record to me, it's for the future generation who's coming along who would say, oh, wow, grandma. So if we have somebody scattered in an official location in Brentwood, do you or do you not want official registration? Would you want to have it recorded with the town? Because anybody who is buried in the town is supposed to be recorded with the town. I'm just getting the feel for what my trustees are saying.
I mean, just my opinion as one of the three of us. I mean, if it's being done in our public cemetery, I think there should be a record of it.
Exactly.
I do. I think, like I said, just because it is a public cemetery, they are scattering remains in our public cemetery. We should have a record of it for historical reasons, as well as to document that Because I think they should have to ask us first. I don't think we want people just going in there and doing things on their own, right?
And we have that on the scattering policy.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I think we should have a record when people scatter. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
What about someone who is doing it at home?
That's a question we need to address too, because I know that there's paperwork that's required when you move a body, transfer a body from one place to another.
Right.
There's paperwork that goes with that, but there's no paperwork, I don't think, for remains.
So for ashes, there are. So when I have an urn and I bury an urn, I get a cremation certificate and it's in our records.
All right, so that body was cremated, let's say in Manchester,
Yep.
all right, and the people get the urn
Yep.
with the, and then after that, there's no law that says they have to be recorded somewhere. Because they can just take it home, put it on their mantle,
Right.
or they could bury it in the backyard. I don't think there's any RSAs that cover that. A paper trail for where those ashes actually end up. If they're buried in the cemetery, yes, there's a record of that. But if they're not,
That's,
But I
Yeah.
think that if they are burying it in their backyard, they still have to notify the town, in which case I would need a burial certificate. So in that case, it's a burial, final disposition, it's a burial. They would need to notify the town, from what I understand. And then thus I would need my green card and I would need a copy of that burial, of that cremation certificate. I'm thinking someone who brings someone home and ashes get passed down through the family and they just decide to, in the backyard, it's just a scattering.
well, we wouldn't know.
Right.
We wouldn't know. And I mean, I know as trustees, I didn't think, we're not responsible, I don't think, for even if it's in their yard.
No
If they get permission, I mean, if they get permission
Right.
to legally put remains in the ground, I don't think we have I don't think we have
I think
like,
289 does say that if you're going to do a disposition within the town, doesn't matter where,
yeah.
that you have to record it with
Oh,
the
I didn't
town.
mean record. I just
The
meant,
scattering.
I just meant like this, but we don't have any responsibility of maintaining or anything on that. Like,
So the reason they do that, because I do know a few people who are buried in town, and I'm hoping that they're recorded with the town, is that moving forward, that land gets sold.
oh, yeah.
And they do digging and somebody digs up an urn, a whole.
Been there, done that.
No,
Oh, boy,
right.
now what? It should have been
Yeah.
recorded with the town, only so that if the land transfers ownership, it's recorded somewhere so that
Yep.
the new owners go, oh,
Yep.
there's somebody buried here.
And for sure, I think we're saying the same thing, that if they're following the New Hampshire laws and regulations, I'm sure we're supposed to be notified if you're putting remains or cremains, I think, either one of them in the ground, on the property, we're supposed to be notified, and you would have the records of that.
Right.
I guess, but that's it, right? Like, I don't know what, because like if, Uncle Joe passed away and the nephews live in Brentwood and they go out to their field and just throw Uncle Joe, right? Like, we wouldn't know,
Yeah.
and I don't know how we could.
And honestly, people are splitting them up, making jewelry.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean,
So that's the
There's a
question
lot
that's
going
coming before the legislator, is that they're trying to narrow down, what are we doing about scattering? And that was the question, is that, do the towns want to know if they're doing scattering in the town? Do they not have any I think they're trying to establish that jurisdiction, because green burials, that's what it's kind of falling under, is that there are so many scattering places now that it's in the wind, literally, figuratively.
Right.
And do the towns want to know? And to what degree?
so they're tackling that in the Concord.
I think it's something
I
that's
mean,
coming up.
Okay.
Again, what's one person's opinion? It's like, if you're doing a green burial of human remains, I would think you have to,
That has to
hopefully
be
put that
registered.
into records
Right.
and notify, because
Yeah.
like you said, now you and I buy the property, we go out there to make a garden and we dig up bones. Like,
Right.
now it's gonna, well, it becomes like almost like a crime scene, right? Like, what happened here? And, but when we're talking about cremation or like cremated scattering, well, when Julie and I buy the property, we're never gonna know. I mean,
Right.
it's earth, ashes, it just goes back to the ground. We would never know. So I get it on like actual burial of human remains. Like, yeah, you better be notifying, and we better have records of that. But
So your
on the,
thought is that if it's scattering on private land,
No.
the town doesn't need to know?
that's what I would
I
think.
kind of agree, but
Okay.
I would be curious to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah.
Very curious.
And I mean, I guess the other thing is I could look through the RSAs. Like, I don't know, was there some recent legislation that they were looking at this, Joyce? Do you know?
It's a green burial thing that just popped up,
Okay.
like within the last couple days.
Maybe for the next meeting, I'll try to find it, or if you find it, one of us, like we can
I'll
bring,
print it out.
like we could print it out, you
Yeah.
know, what the bill is.
Yep.
And then if we have some suggestions, we could always get that to both of our state reps, right? And our state senator, just,
Yeah.
if we have a strong opinion on it, we could do that. The
So I'll
trustees
try
could
to see if
send,
I could
could
find
send
that
something.
email and forward it
Okay.
to you guys.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
it just popped into my head. I'm like, yeah, that would be cool.
Maybe when that comes up on the agenda for the legislature, we might invite the local representative who's going
Yeah.
to be discussing it, and
Yeah, I mean,
we think about it.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And I'll be honest, on Budget Committee, we did that one time. We had both of our state reps come. There was something on healthcare, health trust, you know, and we had questions. So they came and told us what they knew about this bill, and then gave us updates as it moved along, because it was something that was really important to local municipalities like it. But in this case, I think it would be better to, if we have an opinion about it, to share that with them
Yeah.
and let them talk to us about what they think about it too. So that might be something really good.
And they might not even know. This just.
Well, that's the other
popped
thing,
up.
right? They might not, because it might not be on their radar. And if there's something that we feel strongly about, we definitely can have them come here and we'll tell them that. It'd be really helpful, and they would appreciate that as well.
Maybe you could contact the local legislators and ask them when it's coming up.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll do some research and find the bill, and then we'll take it from there. Like I said, and if it's just something really early on,
I think
then
it is.
I think we can just kind of talk about it, and then we kind of get our thoughts together, and then I will craft a letter to send to. I think at this point it would probably be both of our state reps, because we have two in Brentwood. I mean, if it was something, especially if it's a House bill, we'll go to the House. If it's a Senate bill, we'll go to our senator. But yeah, why don't we just do some research on what the actual legislation is, and then we can have that at the next meeting.
And it's basically coming as talking points right now for New Hampshire Cemetery Association, and that's
Okay.
why it came up,
Yeah,
because there's
sure.
going to be a whole bunch of us all in the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
room,
yeah.
and I figured I want to get my local flavor before I go up there and say, hey,
Right.
you know, I'm not representing me, I'm representing my town, and this is what my town is thinking. You know, there's two ways to look at this, and
Yep.
everybody's going to have a different opinion.
Good.
We have no public here this evening, but maybe we have people watching online. I don't know. I'm not
They
sure
don't
if I
know
can
what
see
they're
that on
missing.
here. Anything else? Do we have anything else? No other items? Joyce, good?
I am good.
Skip? Jillian?
What's that?
Next meeting is October 9th, okay? I'm actually not going to be here on the, what's the first?
Second.
Yeah, the 2nd. I won't be here that night. I have something that night. Is October 9th okay for our next meeting at 5?
Sounds good.
Works for me.
Okay, so we'll make the next meeting October 9th, 5 p.m.
And what day of the week is that, Jim?
Thursday.
What's the first?
The first Thursday is the 2nd, October 2nd, and I can't make that one, unfortunately.
Oh, this would be the second.
This is the second
Yeah.
Thursday,
Thursday,
which is the 9th.
which is the 9th. Thank you.
So that will actually be after the New Hampshire Cemetery Association meeting, so I will be able to get, I mean, I've got the flavor of what you guys are thinking, so I'll be able to get the flavor of the state and other people.
Awesome.
But if I can, I will try to get stuff together with you guys. We can look at this, and you can give me talking points and what your thoughts are. Again, I'm gonna go there as a rep from us, not me, but us, so that I can say, you know, there's one town that here's what we're thinking.
Where was that meeting going to be?
It's at the Dairy Field in Manchester. If you wanted to
Oh.
go, let me know, because I've got to send in a registration form.
Hmm.
It's at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
What is the date of that?
It's Tuesday, October 7th. Do you want me to send you an email?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Someday I'm gonna be able to go to that with you.
I would love to have you.
You
come.
should go. I attended with Joyce, and it was really interesting.
Yeah,
I would love to.
We
Hopefully
I
next fall.
really learned a lot and met some really interesting and
This is hosted by,
New Hampshire Cemetery Association, NHCA. They have one in the spring.
Ooh, okay.
It's usually April.
Fingers crossed.
I'd love to have you come.
Yeah, I would
It's so
love
much
to.
fun.
Okay.
They have a raffle. I'm home with some cool stuff.
okay. We good now?
Hmm.
Guess we would need a motion and a second to adjourn at 5:56.
Motion.
well done, second.
Okay, we're done. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Just housekeeping for us. Telling people at the monument company, thank you for the chance to do one more edit. The edit will be here live instead of here live. Everything else looks good. We were just dropping the S on live.